Hey, this is Rob, and you're listening to the Hidden Destination podcast. So today is September 4th, and I am recording this on the day of my ride from Birchwood, where I camped at Doolittle City Park Campground, to Boulder Lodge. I rode 60 miles and had 2,300 feet of climbing today. I am recording this right after the ride. Last night, I think I made the mistake and recorded the episode in my tent while I was laying down after some valerian root tea, and definitely definitely was falling asleep. So I got a little bit more energy right now, and recording this while the sun is still up, and hopefully I'll be a bit more coherent. So yeah, we'll kick it off. So yeah, like I said, rode from Birchwood this morning, got a bit earlier start. I gotta say, fall is definitely in the air. It's a bit cooler in the mornings and at night, and that's it's refreshing, super refreshing. So I woke up this morning. It was pretty chilly and pretty windy. The wind was screaming off the lake, and definitely helped to dry out the tent. And I was able to get that packed up pretty quickly, which is good, and go under the pavilion at the park, out of the wind a bit, and brew up some coffee, where Sean, the dude who was also bike touring, who was pitched up next to me in camp, was also having some coffee. So we enjoyed some coffee together under the shelter, and just sort of chatted for a bit. He was telling me about a lot of his travels, bike touring in Iceland, in Germany, and Switzerland, and all over. So that was pretty cool. And we set off at roughly the same time, but I kind of opted in to ride solo. It was nothing personal towards him, but I just enjoy the solitude and having that time to do some meditation, and didn't feel like talking on the bike. So definitely tried to set out solo, which I did, and it was great. So yeah, fortunately, there were some tailwinds today, tailwinds and crosswinds. I was heading north, and there's a bit of a southerly wind, but it looks like that might be shifting here pretty soon, which is in line with my trajectory. Hopefully, I guess we got a bit of a cold front coming in, supposed to get some rain tonight, but that may end up shifting the wind, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. I'm just enjoying a Spotted Cow beer, employee owned. You can only get it in Wisconsin, so I'll be sipping on this a bit. And yeah, the ride overall today was really good. These little rolling hills are definitely killer with a heavy load, but it was just a gorgeous day. The roads were so incredibly scenic, so many lakes, and it is surprising how much this area reminds me of the Adirondacks. It is super similar to the Adirondacks, which is nice. It definitely has definitely gets me excited to do some bike touring up in the Adirondacks. I was ahead of Sean for most of the morning, and I could see him like about 1,000 or so meters behind me for a lot of the day, and I was definitely like, I don't know why I feel like competitive sometimes when it comes to that, but I was like, I'm not gonna let him catch up to me. So I was like riding pretty hard, which was so unnecessary. But he's actually staying tonight at the Boulder Lodge on Ghost Lake as well, and he ended up beating me here. But I think I took a bit of a different route than he did. But yeah, but like I said, overall cool route. A lot of scenic back roads. I rode through a tribal reservation for a pretty big chunk of the ride. It was pretty interesting. I forgot the name of the tribe. It was through. I guess the town's called Reserve, but yeah, it was pretty interesting. Definitely a few scary dogs tied up. The roads were decent shape, but I ended up stopping for some water there's a bunch of casinos sort of surrounding the area. I stopped and grabbed some water at the Grindstone Creek Casino. There was a gas station next to that, and I believe there was two routes that you could take. Sean was ended up taking the faster northbound route that doesn't go up and over. So basically, you come out onto this highway after passing through the reservation, and you can either just go straight north, which is a 55-mile-an-hour highway with very little shoulder, or you can ride on the prescribed route, which is an additional like 5 miles with 500 feet of climbing or so, which is just a quiet, scenic sort of back road. And after being on that highway for like 5 minutes to get up to the casino or the gas station to get water, I was like, nope, I am definitely opting in for farther and more climbing. It was not worth the gamble. So just one sort of way to optimize for safety, which is if you have two routes and one of the routes is a bit sketchier, then and the other route is a bit longer with more climbing, always opt in for the route with more climbing. And that was a good idea. I did that on two sections of the route today. Excuse me, drink beer, where there were faster options, but I opted in for the safer routes, and both those routes terminated at an intersection with a Dollar General, which was great to grab some food for lunch and grab some frozen veggies to haul up to camp tonight for dinner. So that was perfect. So loaded up on some Dollar General goods, and then popped into a gas station, got some more, got some napkins and mustard packets and just some random stuff to make these ad hoc meals that I'm making, which is fun. But yeah, so set off from there. Something super interesting about these rolling hills is how much of an illusion the gradient and the steepness of the hills is sort of this weird projection when you're on some rolling hills and you're on top of the one hill, and then you kind of like go through a little valley, and then there's another climb. The climb looks so much bigger and steeper when you're on the top of the other hill. So there were a lot of climbs that were ahead of me where I was like, oh no, this looks terrible. And then you descend before the climb, and you're like, oh yeah, it's not too bad. So it is weird how there's this like illusion effect with some of these climbs. But overall, I will say it's definitely steep, and if it wasn't for that tailwind, I would be hurting. So I'm trying to sort of load up on miles now while I can, put some mileage in the bank. I'll be meeting my dad in Michigan on the 12th, I believe it is. So I'll need to take the ferry crossing across Lake Michigan, and just want to make sure that I'm budgeting my time accordingly to get down there. So I'll be dropping south here pretty soon, probably in a couple days. Probably on Friday, I think I'll be dropping south. So hopefully we'll have some winds coming out of the north. That'd be great. But yeah, the rest of the ride was good after stopping in. Well, at the Dollar General. It wasn't really a town. It was just, there was a casino, another casino, and a gas station in the Dollar General. And then it was basically rolling, beautiful, scenic, rolling back roads up until my destination, which is the Boulder Lodge. So I did notice that we're supposed to get some rain tonight. There's supposed to be a cold front coming in. And I got some interview prep to do, and have not been getting as early starts as I'd like. It's supposed to rain in the morning for a bit, and if there's anything I hate, it's packing up a wet tent. So I called the lodge to see if they had like a pavilion where, you know, if it's raining in the morning, I could pack my tent away and keep my bike dry. And Lindsay, who runs the lodge, was like, well, we actually have like a hiker biker like cabin that you can stay in. So it's this old bait shop right on the water, and it's like a little like cyclist bunkhouse that they sort of give to folks at a discount that are bike touring. Super bare bones, nothing much to it, but I was like, I am just, like I've said before, just such a sucker for hiker biker sort of bunkhouse cabins. So I opted in for that, and it was well worth it. It's so cool, and you have access to all the showers. And right now I'm recording this at the Boulder Lodge, which is a bar and restaurant, which is unfortunately closed. They're open Thursday till like Saturday. But I was able to connect to the Wi-Fi because there's no service up here, and hang out in the lodge and have a beer, and record this podcast. So that's exciting. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it today. Like I said, overall, just really digging Wisconsin. Really glad I chose this route, and it's been super rural, super scenic. Like I said, super similar to the Adirondacks, and with fall in the air, it's exciting to start cruising back east. Saw a couple trees changing here and there, which that'll probably tick up a bit. But yeah, this chunk of the tour has just been really good. It's been motivating, and has got me excited to continue to make my way back east. And hopefully some of these crosswinds will eventually turn into tailwinds. We'll see. But yeah, that's about all I got. So from the Boulder Lodge in the middle of nowhere, ta-ta for now.